paano matatawaran ang ligayang nararamdaman ng mga pinalayang bilanggo matapos mabigyan ng pardon ni Pangulong Duterte? Tiniyak naman ni Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre na patuloy ang pagbibigay ng pardon sa mga karapat-dapat na bilanggo. May ulat si Eunice Monte.
Mala ko ng maganda po. Kaya nagpapasalamat kami po kay Apo Presidente dahil siya ang nagbigay sa amin ng kalayaan.
Mangiyak-ngiyak na nagpasalamat si Mang Roger sa Pangulo matapos matupad ang dasal niya sa loob ng mahabang taon. Ang makalaya sa likod ng malamig na rehas at makapiling muli ang kanyang mga mahal sa buhay. Aniya, ngayon lamang sa Administrasyong Duterte, tila narinig ang matagal na nilang panawagan na bigyang pansin ang mga kagaya nilang tumanda na at nagkasakit na sa loob ng kulungan.
Sana po pagpatuloy na siya ng ang kanyang problema ng ang kanyang pagpalaya sa kanyang kasama ming inmate para sa ganun makapiling din nila ng ang kanilang mga mahal sa buhay.
Isa lamang si Mang Roger sa mga 127 bilanggo na nabiyayaan ng Certificate of Pardon at Commutation of Sentence matapos aprubahan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte ang executive clemency para sa mga presong may edad na at nagkakasakit na sa pagbabayad ng kanilang kasalanan. Sa katunayan, sa 27 lalaya ngayong araw, isa rito ay pumanaw na ngayong Pebrero lamang at di na nga naabutan ang first batch na nabigyan ng pardon at commutation of sentence. Panauhing pandangal mismo si Department of Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre sa awarding ceremony kung saan dumalo ang mga inmates sa kabila ng kanilang mga karamdaman. Ang pagpapalaya at pagpapababa ng sentensya ng 27 preso ay naging posible matapos isumite ng ahensya sa Malacanang ang listahan ng kanilang nominado para sa executive clemency. Ang mga napiling inmates ay galing sa penal colony sa ilalim ng pamamahala ng Bureau of Corrections, kabilang nga dyan ang New Bilibid Prison o NBP at ang Correctional Institution for Women o CIW. Ang mga nakalaya ay binigyan ng transportation allowance at kaunting panimula para sa kanilang pagbabagong buhay.
Tuwang-tuwa naman ako kasi walaya na ako. Pinatawad mo din ako sa mga anak ko.
Maraming nagdaan na Pangulo ay kayo lang ang nakapagpalaya sa akin.
Ayon mismo sa kalihim, sa loob lamang ng 7 buwan na panunungkulan ng Pangulo, umabot na agad sa 127 ang naaprubahan dito. Mas mataas sa nakaraang administrasyon kung saan 67 ang napalaya sa loob ng 6 na taon.
We recognize that these inmates have committed mistakes and have been punished for it, and yet we still chose to forgive them because they too have the right to live.
Sa katunayan, 19 pa ang aprobado na ring lalaya sa darating na Huwebes. Para kina Mang Roger, Mang Fien at ilan pa sa mga inmates, di matatawaran ang ligayang dala ng biyayang ito na nagpapatunay na habang may buhay ay may pag-asa.
Expect to pass to this world but once. Therefore, any good that I can do to any fellow creature, let me do it now. Let me not differ or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again. That's the words in our dormitory, and almost maybe all of us memorized this. It was written anonymous, but recently I found out, I forgot the name, but somebody really wrote it. I plead for the unity of the country, that we shall be freed of the communal wars. I plead for the next generation, that there will be Filipinos able, competent, healthy, and good. I plead for peace so that our citizens can move around any time of the day or night. And I ask everybody in government that together we will stop corruption. The very reason why until now we are still in the runway and we have been running at full length towards the stretch, and until now the Philippines has not really progressed for so many years. We are having talks in Oslo now. I think they were leaving for Norway tomorrow. At nandito si Secretary Bello and of course Angging, who really very funny, but they are all from the left, but they are representing the country of the Philippines in Oslo. Vis-a-vis across the table with the communists. And I have no doubt that these two lawyers, all Filipinos, will not really abandon the things that will crave for our country. I know that yung mga left ay hangarin para sa ating bayan. Ako noon, I used to cross the ideological border because I was a student once and I saw the iniquity, the sense of uselessness of the Filipino. Nakita ko rin yung the other side, how should it be in government? Alam mo, we have to continue. And even now, they're asking for the release of 130 political prisoners. Sabi ko, cannot. I cannot give you that. I'm sorry, but I have already conceded so much on the side of the government. But, you're going back tomorrow, and if you can show me a document signed by the Republic of the Philippines representatives at yung mga komunista, then I will release the 120, 30 plus more. Because we're asking that how many are there still beyond 70 years old. And those suffering from incurable diseases at this time, my cancer or kidney or anything, and if they are ready to be released and will be accepted by their families, i-release ko na before Christmas time. There's really no point in detaining a person na matanda na po may sakit. I find it something not that it's a very awkward feeling. Uncomfortable ako. So, yung lahat na matatanda may sakit, umalis na kayo. And we are also talking to the MILF. We're talking to the MN. And the MILF has shown its sincerity to talk to us about peace. Nur Miswari chooses to be different. But he has said that he will work with us in government to find peace. So maligaya ako, except for the extremists actually. It would really be a danger to our country in the days to come. And they showed an example of what they intend to do and was there in Butig, occupying every government building and raising the flag of ISIS. Ako sabi ko, I really do not want to fight. More than I do not want to kill. It's not a good thing killing people. We cannot build a country over the bones of our fellow countrymen. And what is really very disheartening is you see Filipinos killing each other. I don't relish it. It's not something that I would want my country, especially that I am the president of this republic. Sana lang naman kinig sila and we will somehow prospect things that would improve their side. We can only guess Ano nang maghanap kami ng paraan para ma-accommodate kayo. And if just can hang on to that promise that we are looking below and above ground for a compromise on all of these things. Now, dito sa, I promised you corruption. Na it shall stop. And it will. Maniwala kayo, I will go hard against corruption. Talagang, I got a 5 billion check from PAGCOR. And, well, half of it, or binigay ko kay, well, of course, it's Miss Secretary Tigualo, or yung sa DSWD, or whatever, yung sa health. That ibigay ko sa inyo, and I want every Filipino holding a resita of a doctor and could not find the money to buy the medicines. Sabi ko, ibigay ninyo yung 2 billion na yan this Christmas. Sabi ko na, ma'am, inyo na to, just see to it that it is not, the money is not lost along the way, that no corruption will take place. I'm willing to, sabi ko, itong 2 billion, yun na yan. At ibigay ko sa inyo, lahat ng Pilipino nakikinig kayon. It's just, I think I got the check somewhere sometime 4 days ago. And by this time, it should be ready for assistance. So, kayong Pilipinas nakikinig sa akin ngayon. May mga reseta kayo, go to the DSSD or hanapin mo ang inyong city health or the hospital itself. And we will buy the medicines for you. So, dito tayo sa nation building. We're talking about peace. But let me repeat my promise. There will be no corruption. I promise that. So, it shall happen. Then, I said, drug or the drug industry must be extinguished. And I'm working on it. Plus the criminality that has resulted into this kind of illegal activity that has produced 4 million addicts. You must remember that I entered Malacanang on a midterm halos. And you must remember that the program of the previous administration was really to spend bottoms up. So I'm left only with the operating money to run this entity. Wala akong pera kaya nung pumutok, and nobody really realized na ganon kalala. Of course, in Davao City, it was less of a problem because I was very strict. And my motto then, call it a motto, was that do not destroy my country because I will kill you. And do not tinker with our youth. Do not deprive us of the next generation. Yung susunod sa atin,